The views and opinions expressed on this station do not reflect the owners, management, staff, clients, or partners. Medical House presents Bermuda's most viewed and listened to talk show. The Daily Hour starts now.
Oh boy, it's Tuesday, the 22nd day of September. Welcome to the Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House and Linda's. I'm Jamal Hartman, along with Carla Zool and Cherry Lynn Pringle. Thanks for making us part of your daily routine. Today should be a good one, but yeah, it should be a good one. So share the link, start a watch party, get the conversation out to your network, because we've got some things to talk about before we even get to our guest of the day, Katura. Paula, you shared. Okay, the Daily Players will remember when. So we're going to be doing some history class. Paula and I will have a new strategy so that you all can hear us. For some reason, they could not understand. What was it? 63 we said last week.
You said we said 63.
Yeah,
it's teamwork. It's teamwork.
Okay. All right.
Just because a week later you still couldn't hear. Look, you know what? One of our favorite listeners bought me this shirt, right? And birthday present. It says entrepreneur. It says fancy word for crazy people following their dreams. So thank you very much. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say who, but thank you very much. In that respect, Sherry Lynn's birthday is next month. We're gonna get her some Daily Hour branded Q-tips so she can hear us when we say things like 63. All right. So
my birthday is in May, so you need time to save up, okay?
Singing lessons are on cue. Don't worry about that. They're coming. So, no, but Carla shared some things yesterday, and this is a very exciting show as we have Katura from Social Justice Bermuda. But there's a conversation that needs to be had about the hurricanes. I mean, the water and the ocean and the unforgiving nature that is Mother Nature, and just some silly things that have been happening. And I'm just wondering, am I alone? Are we alone in what we're witnessing and thinking that this is normal and we're just overreacting? I'm confused.
So the first video where the children were playing on the water lawn, and some people are saying, oh, they're just having a good time and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, okay, you do know that in a storm, there's called a storm surge with currents that could pull those babies out to sea. And the parents or the nannies or the aunties, whatever they were so far away. So as a parent, that bothered me, right? Mm-hmm. But then just as I was about to lay down, a friend sends me the other one with poor baby Max holding onto that pole for dear life. Jamal, listen, I couldn't go to sleep. I went to sleep about 3 o'clock this morning. I was so annoyed because those adults knew what was going on. Because if you look at the video, and if you don't know, guys, go on my page and you can see it. You see the gentleman running as if to say, in fun, it's coming. So this was not the first wave. But then, for that baby, thank the Lord he thought to jump on that pole. But what if the pole would have snapped? And then that someone would have tried to save him? Like, that's so unnecessary.
Does anyone know where that was?
I'm thinking it's in that same Coral Beach area, like down in where the Choctaw, down in there somewhere.
It's so funny how places become unrecognizable when you have all that water. Mm. Yeah. You have all that water coming in, and it's like there was a video of somewhere that was Devonshire Bay, and I literally was pondering for minutes at a time, trying to figure out where it was, because the water totally totally makes it look so different. But yeah, that little boy held onto the pillow. I actually had to watch it twice because I didn't see the little boy the first time. And then when I heard him say, "Oh, look at Max," and I'm like, and I looked, I'm like, no way. I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it was disturbing on another level. And I think it so much is said when it happens within the Black community, how irresponsible parents are. Let's not ignore that elephant in the room, right? And so it's only right that when you see the commissioner of police sending out a statement on social media, that he took it very seriously, at least the first one. I didn't see if he said anything about the second one. But I, for the life of me, just don't see what should be normal and acceptable about that. Again, I may be overreacting. I could be, but
I get the fascination with the water. I do. However, why were you so far away from your child? Because we would have been on the porch watching, and if we ventured down there to the water, that child would have been at my side.
Yeah.
I'm just glad nothing happened. I'm just glad nothing serious happened because it was caught on video, and there would have just been ample proof to charge these parents with negligence. And I mean, they could still do that, I swear, because Sheila Cooper should have been all up in that.
Does she still exist? But no, Carla makes a great point, though. I mean, and like, let's touch on the first one. So it's all fun and games until something goes wrong, right? And I think it just, nothing about it made sense. And then the second one, where we're talking about the pearl, it looked like a wooden pearl, right? If it snapped, someone likely would have probably jumped in, and then it would have been another casualty. When I was doing St. John's ambulance, lady said one day, she said, if someone fell over, she gave us an example. Someone was drowning and used flex bridge. You know how the current is pretty strong under there. Do you just jump in to save them, or do you try to call for help and keep them in your sight? And the answer, surprisingly, was you don't jump right in to create two casualties. Because and her point was, a lot of people will make you think that being a hero is a great thing, but what people fail to realize is that heroes die. Yeah. And so that stuck with me. And I look at that situation yesterday, and it's really, honestly, Carl, I feel your irritation. Like, I mean, you're obviously coming from a perspective where you have, two boys in particular, 3 children, but 2 boys in particular. And us boys, let's just be honest, we like doing boy things, right?
The other thing that really irritated me was seeing how the other children were so unbothered. Like, did you see the people on the left? It was them as like, oh, Max does this all the time. I would have been screaming and hollering and hooting to, like, what do you do? Like, And then who said, people are saying, oh, and she laughed, but I think that was a nervous laugh. Because as a parent, sometimes when your children do stupid and they don't die, you laugh just to prevent yourself from either killing the child or breaking down crying. So I'm not going to judge that person on that. But that baby is traumatized. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, they were like, oh, this is the quietest we've ever seen him. Well, hell yeah, the little boy was terrified.
Yeah.
Right? He was terrified. I'm like, nobody even went over to him. He's laying there on the ground, and nobody even went over to him. Oh, this is the quietest we've seen, Max.
But the lady that was shooting, the person shooting, still had the camera.
Didn't miss a beat. Didn't miss a beat.
Well, you know what age we live in, folks. You know what age we live in.
I'm just for his okay.
Yeah.
Physically okay, because so many things could have went wrong.
I'll share something with you guys. I have, since a little, had a recurring nightmare about a rogue wave. And so that's my fascination for waves is amazing, but I have a recurring nightmare even up to this day since a little, and I have no idea. So I can only imagine the trauma that that little boy is going to go through for a few days at least.
Well, I mean, just I'm not an ocean person. I leave the water to the fishes, so you don't have to worry about me and the water on a calm day. So I can only hope that Max is a person who likes the water. We have a lot of comments. Let's go through some of them. Elizabeth says, I was wondering if this was the first time those areas experienced a hurricane. James Burt says delusions of invisibility is a pandemic. Well, invincibility. Yes, he he's on something right there. Yes, working on it, Robert. Thank you for that. We're working on it. Erica Rance Mill, he sent an update on the second one and said it has been passed on to DCFS. So that is me in reference to the police commissioner. I said that he had he responded to the first one. I didn't see a second. Shari Faith.
That child was so lucky to have already been holding on to the pole. And yes, the adult didn't say anything about it coming back, but none of the adults even tried to go to him. They ran and left him and then laughed once he was on the ground.
I tell you.
It was disturbing. It was really disturbing. And I saw it so late in the evening that it was like, I just really couldn't wrap my head around it. I couldn't go sleep, like Carla said, for a little while. I'm like, what could happen?
I think this is for you. She looks like Sheila Cooper. She's talking about Retirement Coalition for Protection of Children. She knows that Habitat for Humanity.
So who's the new Sheila Cooper? It's got to be somebody out there.
Dante Hunt.
Williams.
Dante Hunt's wife was there, Kelly, but I believe she was there at one point.
But Javon Williams is the proverbial now Sheila Cooper.
Okay, well, we expect a statement from him soon.
Just putting them on notice. Okay, Javon, I'm looking for you.
Seriously, though,
Yeah, it is Kelly Hunt. Javon has a position there, but Kelly Hunt runs the day-to-day.
All right, well, Kelly needs to sort it out. Because remember with the two boys swimming over Edwardy House, right? Remember the uproar? It was even on the news.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's going to make the news this cycle.
Yeah. I just hope we become a bit more responsible. Look, this may sound harsh, but the truth and the reality of the situation is that stupidity does not discriminate, right? Goes across, all sectors. And, we just have to make better decisions, if not for ourselves, for the children. And I think, I speak for many when we probably all say that what we witnessed, and mind you, we only saw a short bit, but sometimes all you need to see is that little bit to understand that it was probably very reckless and irresponsible. All right. So that's, I obviously, honestly, don't even know what to say. Like, I just hope that lessons are learned. I mean, they didn't think it was bad. Now they know. Right. And they probably, let's be honest, they probably sent it to their friends, not even meant to get out. You know how people do stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I said on the latest comment who shared the post. I said, if that would have happened in Team Zoom, that video would have been in the WhatsApp archives and never saw the light of day. Okay? Because no one would see how stupid I was.
Yeah. Robert Durham makes a good point. What it's saying, you don't hear much from the new person. Yeah, that's true. Sheila Cooper was always, she became a household name. That's why we know. So you have a valid point. You don't hear, and maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe they're probably more focused on doing things differently when new people come in. So, yeah. Teresa Stewart says, I have not seen the second video y'all are talking about. Please send Ms. Stewart the video, folks.
It's on my Twitter and my Facebook too, so.
Yeah. Jan Pell, Carla.
Happy birthday,
Jan. Happy birthday.
Well, where's my cake?
It's not what is done, but who it is done by that decides if it becomes newsworthy. Well, let me address this other elephant because I think it's a financial thing as well. I think that I did not think because they were white, because a lot of people said that. I saw that comment. For me, I thought it was an opulence thing because I feel that most people that are well-to-do don't have much value for anything. And so what's a life? Like, they're not thinking about it. It's just a joy. It's the waves. It's what's that place called? Six Flags in the backyard, Bobby. So I don't think it's a white thing, because none of my white friends would have done that. I think that it is a wealth thing, and not respecting Mother Nature, plain and simple.
I don't care how much money one has, but you can't pay off Mother Nature, and that's just the reality of the world we live in. Carla, let's get to the news, and then when we come back, we will have our special guest for the day, my good friend Katura Horton-Perinchief from Social Justice Bermuda, joining us. Yeah, oh boy, what a morning so far. Afternoon if you're in other parts of the world, and evening in some places.
The Bermuda Police Service is appealing for anyone who has information which could lead to the arrest of a man who sexually assaulted a female during the early hours of Sunday morning. The incident occurred near the Ferrylands Road junction on Pitts Bay Road. The female victim told police she was sexually assaulted at knife point by a male who attacked her as she made her way to work. The assault was thwarted by a passerby who contacted police. The suspect fled the scene, riding north along Pitts Bay Road on a red motorcycle with the license plate covered. Gage Grosskreutz is the only person to survive a triple shooting at a protest condemning the shooting of Jacob Blake by Kenosha police in Wisconsin. He has become the target of angry white supremacists who think he, a white man, and others who support Black Lives Matter should be stopped by any means necessary, including homicide. His family and friends, people who have never protested in Kenosha, have received frightening messages too. People in England should work from home if they can to reduce social mixing and slow the spread of the coronavirus, Michael Gove has said. The Cabinet Office Minister also told BBC Breakfast trials of spectators at sports fixtures could be paused. It comes as pubs, bars, restaurants, and other hospitality venues in England are told they have to close at 10 p.m. starting on Thursday. Full details will be set out by the Prime Minister in Parliament later on today. So besides Jen Powell's birthday, guys, it's September 22nd. Do you know what today is? Let's see. Did Jamal have one? Jamal had one. And I bet you it had Batman or Superman on the front. And he used to write his letters to Santa in it. What is today, Jamal?
Backpack day?
Used to write your letters to Santa in it.
A notebook or something?
It is Dear Diary Day.
Boys don't have diaries.
They just read their sisters, right?
Yeah.
Dear Diary Day hopes to encourage more people to take up a pen and commit the events of their day to paper. Secrets are far safer here than at the fingertips of someone with an axe to grind and access to the internet. This alone contributes significantly to the known psychological benefits of keeping a diary. That's what Max's mom should have done. She should have kept a diary. Turning to weather, Bermuda's high today will be 78. It will be 70 in Atlanta and 76 in London. And don't forget, Medical House is your number one source of PPE supplies, masks, face shields, disinfectants, sanitizers, gloves, gowns, no-touch thermometers, and so much more at the lowest prices. Visit Medical House at 22 Millridge Lane in Pembroke. And on a programming note, don't forget to tune in to the 4100.com tonight for nighttime jams featuring some of your favorite romantic classics. That's your news that's your Daily Hour news break.
She gets a bit too excited with that, right? Let's take a commercial break. We'll be right back with our special guest for the day, Katura Horton-Perinchief from Social Justice Bermuda.
Good day, Medical House Doris speaking. Can I help you?
Medical House is Bermuda's leading one-stop shop for healthcare. Bermuda's top doctors, dentists, care homes, and the hospital choose Medical House for a wide range of products.
Anything that we ask them to do, they come through.
These same professional quality products are available to you for home health care.
If we can use them, we definitely do so.
Medical House is best known for its uniforms and footwear. It also has restaurant uniforms that stand up to even the toughest shifts. If you're on your feet all day, Medical House has comfortable and stylish shoes that are also durable and easy to clean. Everyone needs some help cleaning up, and Medical House has got it. Leading-edge janitorial, facility, and maintenance supplies are all here. Medical House is on Millreach Lane in Pembroke, where there's private parking right outside the door. Call or visit Medical House today.
This month, we're featuring Crunchmaster gluten-free crackers, a hearty alternative to the mainstream fare. The people behind Crunchmaster preserve the inherent qualities of the traditional cracker by incorporating the time-honored Japanese culinary discipline known as utsuyaki, an especially light and dry method of baking, perfect for achieving the goal of authentic flavor and, above all, crunchiness. Try Crunchmaster gluten-free multi-seed and multi-grain crackers in a wide range of tantalizing flavors. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
Tune in to the Full 100 Radio every Tuesday through Sunday at 7 p.m. Bermuda time as we bring you the love, romance, sexiness with nighttime jams. Only on your station for conversations and entertainment. The Full 100 Radio. Download the app available for Android and Apple devices.
And welcome back to the big show. It's the Daily Hour. I don't know. I just find that whole nighttime jams thing a bit hilarious because we can see each other's faces when the commercials are running, and just seeing someone gets I didn't call any names, a bit excited.
Tell him stop talking about you.
Yeah, I definitely didn't call names, right? But this is the Daily Hour. Carlos Zul, Jamel Hartman, Sherilyn Pringle, about to be Katura and Horton-Perinchief about from Social Justice Bermuda. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just look at our Facebook or our Twitter and click the link. I know some people have had challenges finding it, but if you need it, just hit us up and we'll get it to you. But you want to get that. Don't forget our election coverage next week, Thursday evening. Should be fun. Should be extremely fun. I look forward to entertaining you that night. Poker face and all, right? As the results come in. Thanks again to Lindo's Medical House, Bermuda College, the Ministry of Health for getting behind this show and giving us the opportunity to have such important conversations. Without further ado, let's bring in our guest for the day, my dear friend, Katura Horton-Perinchief. Hello.
Good morning.
How are you?
Fine. You keep saying we're dear friends. Should I be expecting like birthday gifts, or how does this work?
I know I'm about a decade behind.
Okay, a decade, 3 decades, but thank you. Good morning, ladies.
Morning. I was gonna wear my shirt like that today. We were winning.
Yes.
And they sell the shirt at the Griot, right?
Yeah. Yeah, of course they do.
Okay.
They have a new shirt as well, which I have not yet gotten with some of our Bermudian heroes, so I can't wait.
Alrighty. Well, Katura Horton-Perinchief is on the show from Social Justice Bermuda. Let's get right to the conversation. Talk to us about, especially for people who might not know, a bit about Social Justice Bermuda. How did it come about, and what is the overall objective of the organization?
So, first of all, thank you for having me, and thank you for having us. So, in May of 2020, a collective of Bermudians sort of got together in light of the Black Lives Matter movement in the States and the murder of George Floyd. And we wanted to initially show solidarity with that movement and that group. But it has since morphed into sort of an expose of what social justice issues we have right here on island that luckily I think that we have been able to tackle and at least sort of put our minds together to figure out what we can do better right here on our little island to make things better for everybody. So it's been a true labor of love, and we released our platform last night, which a lot of work has gone into it, and I can't help but acknowledge the team behind it. The collective, the core collective is 17 Bermudians, and some of us you'll know, some of us you won't, but it's been an incredible labor of love. And some of the things we've gotten to do, protested the appointment of Lee Rizzuto, U.S. consulate right now, with 92,000 signatures on a petition about that, both here and obviously in the United States. We've gotten to look at the cannabis reform proposals from the current government. We've joined with several local organizations who are working on other things. So it's just been an incredible way to galvanize the troops.
Katura, there are a number of key areas that Social Justice Bermuda is focused on: education, reform, economic equity, criminal justice, healthcare, and food and youth and family. What is the plan and strategy to tackle each of these issues?
Thank you. So what we have done, and you'll see on the website, there is actually a way for people to sign up to become part of the task forces. And so currently, obviously, we were in the planning stages. We're still in a bit of the planning stages. A lot of people signed up from some of our events. The historical walk, I know, got a lot of signatures. And the protests in front of the consulate got a few signatures. So we've got a lot of people in the background who are ready to mobilize. So we will be forming these task forces to figure out what the action plans are going forward. But you'll see that obviously we are non-political. So regardless of who wins the election on October 1st, we will be working with that government. We're lobbyists, we're activists. So depending on the current state of affairs and how we think it's going towards improving the equality of all Bermudians, we'll be able to lobby on whichever one of these sort of parts of our platform we think need the most mobilization.
Okay, though you were unsuccessful with the protests against Mr. Rizzuto, what were some of the lessons learned from that experience for Social Justice Bermuda that will help you going forward?
What I love about it is that we got a lot of support, and we realized that there are people out there who love and care for Bermuda and have their fingers right on the pulse of not just the political sphere here, but really the social ills that plague us. So when it came to Rizzuto, for obvious reasons, you know, I'm not going to say the organization is anti-Trump, but some of those policies that just do not speak to people of color in the United States, then obviously do not speak to us. So I think that one of the major lessons learned, and you'll remember that we actually had the opportunity to deliver a letter to the governor, and we delivered the petition that was signed by more than the Bermudian population. And one of the major lessons learned would be that unfortunately, sometimes you have to work within a system. One of the great lessons learned, though, is that we don't have to stop fighting or protesting just because something has been done that we were unable to control or unable to mitigate against. So we won't stop saying that Rizzuto should not be here and should not be part of this fabric, this societal fabric. With any luck, we'll be able to talk to our new governor and see what she has to say about that. But we never think that this is a fait accompli.
Protest. There was the protest against the appointment of Rizzuto, and then the Black Lives Matter march. But then it seems like you guys have gone a bit quiet. What have you been doing to keep the momentum going since then?
Right. So luckily, we are all online and able to do things remotely. In this age of pandemic, I know there was a lot of concern about meeting in person and doing marches and protests. And I think that the visuals of that and the galvanizing nature of those protests were just so important. But we do still exist in a pandemic. So what we have been doing, you may or may not have seen, if people are following the Instagram account, the Twitter account, and us on Facebook, we've done a lot of outreach via Zoom and Facebook Live. We've done, we actually had a discussion, Kristen and I did a discussion a couple of months ago that garnered 5,000 viewers. So that was pretty incredible. So since then, we've actually, and especially since the announcement of the election, we've been putting our heads together to develop the document that was released last night, so that when it is time for us to be able to work with the government that gets into power, we're able to do that. And as I said, there are a lot of people in the background. So while we may seem to have gone a little bit silent, we certainly have not been, because the work is being done. You can't yell all day, every day. Sometimes you got to sit down and do some work. So that's what we've been doing. But yeah, we are actually planning on tackling a lot of these little postulates here in the platform in Facebook Live sessions or Zoom sessions. There was a session done not too long ago, but a month ago, saying "We march, now what?" And that was really well attended. So we're getting a lot of support around some of these virtual events. So we'll continue to do that and continue to mobilize the masses and keep everybody engaged that way.
At this point, none of the parties have released their entire platforms. Which party, though, most aligns with what Social Justice Bermuda visions, and how do you plan on working with the government, whichever one it may be, to address the concerns of your organization?
I think that's really difficult. It's a difficult thing to say at this point, because we don't know what their platforms are about. We don't know actually. We've seen a little bit. We've seen bits and pieces from all of them. So, you know, there's some things that align with us that FDM has released, and we're really excited to have a third option. This is the beauty of democracy, really, that we're seeing in the mobilization of FDM. The Progressive Labor Party has some things in their constitution that we've not yet seen in any of their platforms that align well with us. But the way that we will work with whoever gets into, whoever is determined to be the government on October 1st, is that we will meet with them civilly around any table that we can go to, and we will continue to lobby in sort of the best interest of, at least what we think the best interest of every Bermudian is. So we'll lobby, we'll talk, we'll protest if need be, and you've seen that we like doing that. So getting people involved has been, I mean, we keep saying that, you know, Bermudians are passive, we did not see that in Bermuda. We turned out 10% of this, over 10% of this population took to the streets. And we saw some vocal Bermudians just rise to the top. And we were just so proud of that advocacy on behalf of not just our young people, but our seniors, our people, Black and white, straight and gay. On behalf of all of our people, we've seen some mobilization this year. 2020, something special. So hopefully we can do some good there.
Alrighty. Got a few questions from the audience. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to submit. Charles Jefferson II says, have any of the candidates or parties sought endorsement of Social Justice Bermuda?
No, not behind the scenes and not publicly. I think we've been vocally non-political, neutral. So, and we like it that way. So nobody has sought our endorsement, but if I'm not talking out of turn, I don't think that we would give our endorsement either. So.
Well, next question. Linda Bell says, is this a group? Is this a young group? What is age you can join? Can you send me information about your group? Quite interesting.
Girl, anybody can join. Anybody can join. We have actually, if you look at the platform, we have a pretty incredible picture of one of our senior citizens who is very vocal and holding a sign. And anybody can join. We are very actually, a lot of our people behind the scenes, and you had my mother on not too long ago discussing education. We have a lot of OG contributors to our education piece. They come with a wealth of information, and also the Progressive Labor Party released their seniors platform, which we will be looking at and going through with a fine-tooth comb with some of our senior members. So anybody can join. Obviously, there's also the youth part. So our people who are interested, who are even not yet of voting age, are welcome, because we'd like to know what their issues are. You know, and we realize too that, and first of all, thank you for calling us young. We realize that we're not the only people. So, you know, age 30 to 50-ish, not the only people. That there's a wide group of folk who still need to be represented, and we are welcome. We're welcoming everybody. If you go to our website, which is socialjusticebda.com, there's actually a piece in the corner where you can sign up still for any of the task forces that might interest you. It doesn't necessarily have to be your area of expertise. I worked very closely with 1A Crockwell on the criminal justice piece. And as you all know, my areas of expertise would be sport and health. But this has been an incredible undertaking and eye-opening piece of the platform that I'm now very passionate about. And yeah, so it doesn't have to be your area of expertise. If you need to be guided or if you'd like to lead, that would be great. But yeah, go to the website, or if you're on Twitter or on Instagram, we're on there too. So, or Facebook, I'm a Facebooker. So any of those platforms work just fine.
All righty. We have another question. Charles Jeffers, what is social justice Bermuda position on independence / self-determination for Bermuda?
Such a sticky subject, right? It's not for me, and personally, you'll know that I'm pro-independence. I find it very difficult to maintain the notion that Black Lives Matter under a system of colonial oppression. Social Justice Bermuda will do and will stand by whatever is best and whatever the Bermudian public as a whole thinks is going to represent them, and what will provide the most equitable system for our people. So although we have discussed it internally and have not put anything out publicly, if the government that is elected decides to, whether they decide to take us to a referendum for independence or a vote for independence or not even discuss it, social justice will be there to ensure that it is equitable and equal representation for all Bermudians.
All righty. Looks like we got questions at a time, but it's often said that governments need pressure groups to keep them in check, especially when the opposition doesn't seem as strong. What does Social Justice Bermuda have to do to hold the government, whoever that may be, after October 1st, accountable?
Well, we do what we do best, and that's probably yell. But I don't want to go to the entire using a sledgehammer when you can use some tweezers to sort that out. So what we would do is, first of all, tackle the low-hanging fruit, the parts of our, and if you've had a chance to preview the platform, I think a lot of this stuff is common sense, right? So if there are things that the government is already doing that we think we can tweak just a little bit to make it a little more equitable, we'll be able to do that. And as I said, we're quite connected, so we can sit around any table. There are lots of us, so and we're all equally comfortable with the platform and the stance of the organization. So we will make ourselves available. You're so right. These are pressure groups, advocacy groups, lobbyists. At the end of the day, human rights is our goal for everybody, equal rights. So if we need to lend our voices, which we will need to, we will do so publicly. We can do so privately. But the fact of the matter is, we need to move this agenda of equal rights, human rights for all Bermudians forward, because it's come to a standstill. Standstill, and we don't like that part.
I'm just gonna do it. So we have a viewer who often speaks about some deal that the PLP made with BIU and brings up the December 2nd protest. Doesn't feel like it was settled in favor of the protesters. Is Social Justice Bermuda working with people like that regarding whatever their issues may be on past them? Now, I'm going to use a personal experience per se. Our personal experience for Bermudians Against the Draft is everyone thinks that, oh, it's all over, conscription's ended. But as my colleague Shirley Pringle has been stating for years, which a lot of people are just jumping on, is where are the reparations for that? So has Social Justice Bermuda reached out to Larry Marshall Sr. or any member of Bermudians Against the Draft outside of myself to ensure that justice is actually served with groups that have fought in the past, but justice really has not prevailed?
We have not yet, but it is not outside of our remit, and it's certainly our intention. I think that as I said, we only just got together in May, and now we've got an election upon us. So one of our hot button issues was to tackle what the government had put out about the cannabis reform. So that was a huge piece of several weeks of everyday work and weekly Zoom meetings to put that together. So it's not that we are outside of advocating for reparations and justice on that. It's just not been a priority piece right now, but it absolutely will be something that we will tackle. And historical ills need to be rectified. We as people suffer from generational trauma, and an apology doesn't fix that. And I don't think an apology ever will, but a concerted effort to ensure that nothing like that ever happens again to our seniors in front of Parliament is something that we need to focus on. And that goes down to some of the issues that we've seen with police overreach, with police brutality, and that obviously falls squarely within our remit.
Gotcha. I just appreciate your existence. I know that some people have said, well, there are other groups. What differentiates Social Justice Bermuda from other groups? There was a people's campaign that someone mentioned to me when they said we were having you guys on. How do we know they're not going to be a people's campaign and disappear once the election's over? What do you say to those kind of comments?
Well, you know what? I think that we have some staying power because it is such a big group. And people are holding us accountable. We get daily messages like, hey guys, what are you doing on this? What are you doing on that? So we are in the forefront here. And it's been a beautiful thing to have people from the outside holding us accountable. The core group holds each other accountable very well as well. We've got people from all walks of life and all different areas of passion. But what I do know is that overall, folk are passionate about Bermuda and Bermudians. So I think that, I don't know if we're different, but what I do like, because all of those people intended to do incredible good, and a lot of them have been able to. What we do have is staying power because of the sheer breadth of the group. And it's a sexy time to be sort of involved in social justice. So I think that the place that we're at in history is helpful. The fact that we are home and staying safe from the pandemic has given us time to sort of stay the course and not get sidetracked where we don't have to be. But it will be, a lot of our struggle will be staying here and staying focused as the world starts opening up and as we start having other priorities. But we have no intention of going by the wayside.
And I know you shared for people who are interested in joining that may not be tax savvy, people who just want to call somebody or go visit a location. Is there there's any options available?
We do not have a location. We don't have a location. But if you hop on the website, and we don't have a physical location. You will know that, I mean, you can always contact me, but also you see some of us are at the in the forefront. You'll see Kristen White out there, you'll see Wane Crockwell, but the website is the best place to go. And I would say that I would want everybody to start at the website just to make sure it's something they want to be involved in, just to see where we are and where they can fit in. There are ways to communicate via the website. So they can easily enough to get on the website on your phone and shoot us a little note from there. It would be great.
All righty. Katura, Horton-Perinchief, a lot more to discuss. Obviously, we only have about 20 to 25 minutes. We probably took more of your time than you probably wanted to allow us, but
no way. I love you guys. This is an incredible show, and we love that you even invited us. So thank you.
I know your mom had to convince you to do it. Like, I don't want and she was like, "They're okay. They're pretty nice."
No, she had a blast.
But no, honestly, we'd love to have you. It's so much to the platform that I read last night. So we want to have you back to specifically speak about different things on there. Today, Great. Pretty much just a summary, but definitely let's schedule some time over the next few months so we can go through certain areas. I know that Carla, prior to the show, had looked at some of the things in criminal. Not criminals, but prisoners being able to vote and stuff like that. And it was something to do healthcare.
Disenfranchisement is not okay. So absolutely, that's an incredible. Thanks for pointing that part out. But yeah, there are a lot of intricacies in that platform that we're really proud of, and these are things that have not been tackled before. And we're hopeful that we can put our sort of a little bit of pressure on the government, not just the government, the people. We mobilize to make this government go. We hire them, and we hire them with our vote. We pay for them with our tax monies. We need to hold them accountable. So yeah, thank you, Carla, for even pointing that out, because that was a big piece of something that we're really proud of, and that we hope can ameliorate as we go forward.
Yeah, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I remember the late Walton Brown was a proponent of that, right? So definitely, again, it's a lot we have to talk about. So please, let's arrange a time to do this again. And thank you so much for taking the time to do this, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Thanks, guys. Keep it up.
Thanks so much. Talk soon. All righty. Katura Horton-Perinchief from Social Justice Bermuda there. great conversation. It's so much to it. I mean, it was a 12-page document that they released last night, so a lot to go through. That was pretty much just the surface of discussion. But if you haven't, visit their website. I believe Kristen White may have shared it in the comments. We're gonna pay a quick bill, and then we'll come back with the daily play. Why are you smiling like that? You think Carla and I haven't been studying? You've been studying, like late night study calls. Don't worry about that, Shay. We'll be right back.
Bermuda College has facilitated the success of thousands of Bermuda students since 1974. Today, we take great pride in providing quality instruction, innovative education, and unparalleled student support. Bermuda College is now seeking to extend its tradition of customized commitment by recruiting credentialed faculty who share our passion for delivering instruction that will inspire and challenge minds.
How did I get involved in teaching? It was through the fascination of meeting people and university, the things professors explained to me in ways that I'd never even conceived of before. To see students' eyes light up when they suddenly understand because of something you've told them why things have happened the way they have in the past or why they do certain things. I can think of nothing more rewarding than being a teacher.
To learn more, plan to attend one of the online information sessions. Times and webinar details are on the college website at college.pm.
Welcome back to the Daily Hour. Look, Charles had a comment that I'm jumping on, right? He says, maybe we can get them to take up the cause for Bermudians living overseas getting the right to vote and other election reforms. Well, I think we have a cause. We have a fight. Not everyone can relate to our fight, though, Charles. I didn't see anything.
I will say this. I read that their platform last night from front to back, and there's some very interesting points in it. And I would say for anyone to go and take some time and go through it. If you've never seen a platform before, this is a good starting point because it was a very good document and it wasn't overly wordy. It talked to the everyday man. And I think that's so important as well, but some really good stuff in there.
That's not how you get people to come back. You got to say it was trash. It was ridiculous. I'll never read something like, no, I'm joking. But
I was really impressed by it. Extremely impressed.
I say this with the most respect, though. If the political parties who haven't released their platforms yet see that, they've got a lot of work to do within a week, right?
Well, that was my thing. I was like, hold on, is it going to be a fourth party? But I know it's too late. But I mean, it was that top notch. And for someone that generally does not, and I said it before, I've never really looked at a platform before because I just wasn't interested. That engaged me from top to bottom for the whole 12 or 17 pages, I think it was. It's a really good document. So take some time and look at it.
I think my questions would lie is more or less, and I know they have this, but I just have a lot of these questions. Even Young Media Maya sharing something on Facebook about women's representation in politics. And I think we need to be very conscious and cautious when we put out information without putting data behind it. Obviously, there is data behind a lot of things that people put out, but those are where my questions will come from. Like, it's not about emotionally how people feel, but is there actual data to support a lot of the positions? That's how I am with most things. That's why I ask a lot of questions. So I would like to see the data that supports a lot of what's in any platform that's put out there, rather than, again, I mean, who's to say Max's family cares about health insurance the way that we do? Bad example. Too soon? Okay. Daily Play, what you got for us, Sherry?
What I have for you is I'm not gonna say a date. I'm gonna tell you the date because we don't need to go from one year to the next. So in the late summer of 1969, something special happened in Bermuda. What was it?
A hurricane?
No, I was going to say theater boycotts, but no, because that's theater boycotts.
No.
Something special happened in 69.
Well, it wasn't a riot.
No. I wasn't born. No.
And it ties in with this youth movement. So it's...
First sitting of youth parliament?
No.
What, the Black Beret cadre or whatever?
That's it.
Oh, really?
The Black Beret cadre was formed by 22-year-old John Hilton Bassett in the late summer of 1969.
You know.
Yes, 28 answers later.
Hold on. Last week you claimed you couldn't hear us, right? Now all of a sudden it's 28. I didn't see any rules saying that we can't guess 50 times before we got the answer, right? Well, you know, and there's what's that test that I did bad at, the SATs or whatnot?
I did bad at them as well too. You know, you probably got higher than me.
No, I don't know, my score was so low I don't remember, you know, if the number existed back then. But anyway,
I like that you got it, Jamal. I'm really, really proud of you.
Well, that means a lot, man.
But really, I was reading Keto Swan's book and I stumbled upon that and I thought it kind of.
What's it called?
You know what? I was reading something about his book because I want to download it and read it.
I have it. Dang, I have it. It's the red book.
It's something that I have to get into. I really do. But I saw that in it and I said that would tie in nicely with our show.
Let me answer this real quickly before Carla gives us some. So you don't have to be a party to make a difference. Don't I know this?
Mm-hmm.
Don't we know this? Yeah, I'll stop right there. Might cost you something, but don't we know? Maybe that's the reason I don't have any love for most political parties. Did I say that out loud? Carla,
you're getting like the American politicians saying the quiet out loud.
Yeah, it happens. Carla, what you got for?
I speak a little something to him, and then he says it out loud for me. That's how we work.
Well, I mean, yeah. I'm gonna give her that one. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't know she WhatsApped me the answer just now. See, so.
My little hands. People who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Rob Siltonen.
Well, that goes with the shirt today that Charles got me. Charles got it. Entrepreneur.
Charles got you a shirt? Oh, Charles, I hope that you know the rates to Manchester from Atlanta are very cheap. Wink, wink.
Well, it's not your birthday.
It could be, what's in October? It could be for Sherry's birthday.
Did Charles tell you that he contracted me to pick his lovely family up from the airport when he was in Bermuda? So I got to meet him, yeah. And he's a good tipper.
Oh my!
Oh, wow, you're putting this business out there.
There you have it. I mean, if you're looking to get a ride, a good ride that's going to pay you to go Grotto Bay, look for Charles, folks. No, let's be honest. Look, if you're a cab driver and you're waited down the airport all day, Shari, and they tell you to go in Grotto, how you reacted?
I take them to Grotto and I come back and get in line. And as I'm driving out of the airport, I let the attendant know that I'll be back. I will drive anywhere. Charles took me to a place that I had not been before, a house that has a steep driveway. And I was like, whoa. But I'm one of those old school drivers. I will go anywhere. You can get me on Front Street and ask me to take you to Reed Street, and I will do it with a smile.
Oh, that's so nice.
Oh, okay.
Where she went, we were trying to catch taxis from up the second in the rain, but anyway, that's another story.
Yeah, back then they didn't come in the neighborhood, right?
I'll go anywhere.
We have to lie and say that we were on Palmetto Road and run down to meet the taxi because they wouldn't come up the hill. But I'm not bitter or nothing.
On that note, any final words, Shari?
I just want to let my heart goes out to the young lady who was sexually assaulted yesterday, and I just want people to know that it's safe to be in Bermuda. It's just some crazy people living with us here.
Like most places. Carla?
And on the back of that, if you know something about this that can assist police, please do so, which leads me to, this is now going into the 6th or 7th month that Chevelle Dillon Burgess has been missing. And I would encourage someone to say something.
Indeed. Still waiting on for confirmation for tomorrow's show, but until tomorrow, we appreciate you. We love you. We thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, you know what we'll do. Be back to do it again with you again tomorrow.
Thanks for tuning in to The Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House. All recorded episodes and highlights can be found at thedailyhour.com. Stay connected with us by following us at The Daily Hour on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.